Oh, hello. Happy Friday here upon the moors. In this house, opulent and imperial. Sorry, someone's been playing Darkest Dungeon. But thank Godot, it's Friday. Welcome to Party Wipe episode 5. We are making a roguelike deck builder where you draft an RPG party and try not to party wipe. I need to develop the second half of that, like, Steam short description. I feel like the roguelike deck builder where you draft an RPG party is, like, incredibly dense and effective communication for the, like, X meets Y thing. But then I need to be like, what do you do from there? That's fine. We'll figure it out. We don't need to do it now. First things first. Let's make a game. How's it going? Hey, Lost Sleep Games. Hey, Commander. Commander Apollo in the house. You have to do 10 hours of driving in the next 2 days? Lord. That sounds like a lot. Well, I hope there are no surprises. I hope it goes as smoothly as possible. Yeah, time to leave the dungeon for the weekend. I say leave the dungeon. I work from home. Let's be very clear. Most of the four out of 5 days a week I work from home, so I'm in a dungeon of my own choosing. But yeah, we're working on Party Wipe. I messed around with some stuff yesterday. And by yesterday, I mean last night, like after the stream. I find myself working for like 12 to 15 hours a day. We'll see how long I can sustain that. See how long I can sustain that. But we're doing it. We're really tearing it up. Tearing it up. You happen to like your dungeon? It's very comfy. I've spent a lot of effort and money on making my dungeon very comfy. I was blocking off some parts of the UI for where I want to put things, and I like did this so I can like slide them in. So like you might have your roster fill in on the left here. I don't think that your party roster will ever get this big, but I feel like the enemy roster could. I think I need to have a lot of consideration around how many enemies can be on the field at once, because that's a big consideration for like and then I guess this could go down if it's like actually full of things. So I'm thinking about like how to block out the UI. I think in reality this would only ever be like here. But I'm looking at how to like block out the different space. I want to leave plenty of room on the battlefield. I think this doesn't need to be quite so in your face. But I'm kind of just seeing how I divide up the space. I also made card backs, like rarity levels for the card backs for the 6 levels, because I wanted to and because it was easy. Yeah, I'm just trying to think about how the space is going to be used. And I also don't need it to be perfect. I want to actually over communicate at the moment. Like I might even put a label for like your draw deck or something. I really like the idea of having the game's title on the screen as part of the card art. We'll see if we end up putting a little icon or something. See that good. We're trying to go for a really minimalist style. Are these in line? They probably are, right? Yeah. Probably. But yeah, we're going for a very minimalist style, kind of like He Is Coming. I'm looking at that game a lot. I don't think mechanically we're doing very much similar, but from an aesthetic standpoint, I'm really looking at how they do their UI. I'll probably eventually get more detailed with it. We'll have to do some of these fun post-processing effects to like bring some some stuff. I almost started out with this background color, and I was like, let's not. Let's do that with like with something if we decide to do that. Hey, Nix, how's it going? Oof. Well, I hope you have a good time, Commander. You love the look of the cards. They feel nice and chunky. Yeah, I was talking about, I appreciate that. I was talking about how the cards that I like, which are really like very small cards that have very little information on them. My favorite card is a very particular version of Ticket to Ride that are these tiny little cards that only tell you the information you absolutely need. Obviously, there's not a lot of content to a Ticket to Ride card, but still. I like thinking of them as almost like little tokens. And then we'll put more information. Gothic 1 remake finally came out. I never played those. Hope everyone's having a fine Friday. But yeah, I'm looking at kind of how they do their UI and looking to borrow some elements. I don't quite like how many of these bars and stuff they have going on. I also don't quite like the edge thing where they come in at the edge. Personally, I prefer this kind of thing where it's open, but I don't know. We're gonna take a very minimal approach, and we'll change things as we need to. Like maybe your roster should be white and not red. And the enemy roster should be red. I don't know. I'm not gonna worry about that stuff. But what I am worrying about is how we're gonna get the roster parts on there. So I've got these, like, they're almost like tabs for each of the rarity colors. So this is like level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6. And the player will never have more than 4 of these, but I thought that the enemy might. So I made a little extra room there in case they did. But yeah, these will just, I think, fill up, and they'll probably sit like this. They'll probably sit something like this, so they stick out a little bit, and then when you mouse over them, they'll like jut out a little more, I think is what I'll do. Like have it be pretty subtle, but noticeable. Even have it be like this. Yeah, it doesn't. The particulars don't matter. I just want to get something up. So we'll work on that a little bit. I still need to figure out the arrangement of the card pieces, like how they mechanically fit together like that from a scripting standpoint, but that's okay. I'm probably going to extend out more of the card plugin logic to handle that. Remind you of magic tokens. Yeah. Like the direction of the UI so far. Yeah, it's minimal. It needs to communicate deeply minimal, especially considering how small the battle area is. I think I've settled on like about something like this, like 10 by 6. I think that's okay. Into the Breach does 8 by 8. We're not going to do 8 by 8, but maybe we do 10 by 6. Similar complexity space. Small enough that it's trivial to like do calculations on. Big enough that you have some variety in terms of putting stuff on the field. Consistent shape so I can eventually do procedurally generated encounters. Eventually. We'll probably hand code a number of rooms and stuff at first for the prototype, and then we'll figure out how to generate a sufficient number of them, but for like different biomes and stuff. But yeah, we're trying to go really minimal. Really minimal. Well, your hand will be here. Your discard is going to be over here. So we'll put the discard like right over here somewhere. This. Like something like that. And then, yeah, like I displayed, the party roster thing will extend down as people join your party. And by people, I mean you deploy units onto the thing. And then you can click on them and expand out the character sheet. So we'll probably start working on the character sheet, honestly. I'm kind of on this mock-up the UI thing. And that's to let me know what kind of space I'm playing with, what my economy is. I questioned if this was the right way to start, but my My professional graphic designer partner was like, that's okay. From a technical standpoint, I'm less concerned about the technical implementation of the battle map. I understand how to do that. Obviously, the design space for it, I'm more concerned about, but I want to know how much I have to work with, and I think figuring out the basic UI layout first is good. I think it's communicating what I want. Whether I have the initiative tracker thing be here when it's empty, we'll see. I actually thought about it. Yeah, there's some tight design stuff. Yeah, knowing what my affordance is really important. All right, we're not going to stay on this radio because it's the intro radio. Grave danger. It's the track here. Well, let's see what we get next. Let's see if we get a good song. I like this radio. I think it sets a good mood. Okay, never mind. We're going to go to our co-working music. Our lo-fi co-working music. Thanks for the hydrate, Nix. Almost 200,000 points. Yeah, I'm sorry. I haven't thought of what to do with that. I had some pretty simple ideas, and then someone explained to me that it's against TOS for these to have any dollar value at all, so I don't know. I don't know. You're winning, though. You're definitely winning. Yeah, you can't give away games. Yeah, it's unfortunate because I've seen people do that, and that was like the easiest idea for me. Or stuff like that. We'll figure something out. But yeah, I want to sort this out in terms of what we have and what we have room for. You know, I might even do one of like a play mat that says like your hand, and then your hand is here, and so you can kind of see that. But I don't think that's required. I think that's semi-obvious. We'll see. Or more specifically, I'll probably have a mat for it, so it'll be this slight kind of color change with the background, but I don't think I'll do anything else. But yeah, I like the card back colors. What was I gonna say? I had like a thought on the tip of my tongue. Oh yeah, so we're not gonna be able to do the like darkest dungeon thing of like have people walk around the map outside of combat. The only exception is maybe when you go to a vendor, like you go into a town and you go to like the blacksmith or something like that, where it's like it'll be a screen and maybe it'll show a map and your characters will be on the map, but like you won't be able to have cards or play cards. And yeah, I realize if you could like walk around the map outside of combat, like if you could, if it was a map that had multiple rooms or things like that, you could trivially like redeploy your whole party, or you could re-equip, you could change your equipment at the drop of a hat. And I'm like, no, it really needs to be like you go from combat to combat, and that's the only time you can make adjustments like that. Like, otherwise it would be trivial and you'd be starting from like the perfect circumstance every single time. So that also definitely constrains us in some ways. But yeah, here's the card backs for Poor, aka level 1, Common, aka level 2, Magic, aka level 3, Rare, aka level 4, level 5, Epic, and then level 6, Legendary. I like it. There's slight contrast issues with a couple of them, mainly Poor and Magic, but I'm using palette colors. I'm like very consciously using only colors from the character palette, which is somewhere. I'm like very purposely only selecting from colors in here, because I want to maintain that consistency. The only colors I have that aren't in this palette are the reds that I use. These reds that I use are kind of their own thing, but it's okay because there actually aren't really any reds here. I could probably go through and look at their reds in like the, like here. Their reds are nice, but they're like too far into the purple. Too far into the purple. I want to have a very dry like D&D red. Like I could have done something like this probably, but not exactly what I want to do. Yeah, it's looking good. We're looking good. Yeah, I think I'll try to space out. Let's space out the character sheets. Well, maybe we get the... Maybe I mock up the starting party roster pieces just so we can put them in there. Because yeah, I took those card things and I created this. This is just placeholder text, so I know how much space I need. So that we can have little roster tabs for your characters, and the roster tabs will show you what level they're at. Yeah, I like this. I think this is fine. Is it perfect? No. Is it a little awkward in places? Yes. But it gets the job done. Julian has a name in the credits one for a whole bunch of points. Yeah, I need to see what I want to do about something like that. Hey, Sapphire. How's it going? Happy Friday. So yeah, I'm reasonably happy with these. If anything, so I could do two things today, and we could do them in whatever order. We could try to do a character sheet layout, or I could go and make the little card things associated with the initial party of 4, which I think the initial party of 4 is going to be the Ranger, the Bard, the Knight, and the Wizard. I think I've settled on this as the original party because that seems like a really great D&D combo. And then everyone else will be unlocked. You know, the Alchemist, the Artificer, the Demon Knight, the Priest, the Druid, the Warlock, Paladin, maybe Cleric. Let's see. Spellblade, Rogue, Necromancer, Witch. These will all be characters in the game, and they'll either, if they're friendly, they'll have like a quest line for you. If they're enemies, they'll be like mid bosses of like a biome, or end bosses. They'll be bosses of a biome or like quest arc. And when you defeat them, you'll unlock their packs and you can play with them as one of your starting. But yeah, we're just going to start with the basic 4. The Ranger, the Bard, the Knight, the Wizard. I think that'll be good. And then, yeah, I think I've settled on every item or equipment or spell card being in the suit or being in a suit. And I think suit is just going to be a short... I haven't decided if it's going to be a shorthand for item compatibility. Like maybe like a Berserker could still carry a Knight Spear, but I actually think I might do that also as equipment requirement. So like maybe only Knights wield spears or whatever, because that's what their thing little shows here. Or something like that. It kind of is rough because these guys both have swords. So I think what would be better is if you just have a suit and then we either do compatibility that way or we base it on the item. I haven't decided. Have not decided. I think I need to do the character sheet before I have an idea. Hey, Tara. Tara the Blade, welcome in. For such a small sprite size, it's amazing work. Thank you. These are not mine. These are not mine. These are from an asset pack that we're using in an attempt to save us significant time. What is this called? Pixelike? Yeah, we're using the Pixelike 2 set. It's a great set, and it's gonna get us. We're gonna hit the ground running with this. But yeah, it's a great size. I love this. It's gonna help us mock up the battle map stuff a lot. It's saving us a lot of time. We're saving months with this art. We're saving months with our simple cards plugin that we're using to handle all the card interactions. So we just have juicy card interactions set up from the get-go. Or we have an API and everything for it and examples of how to do it. how to do like juicy card interactions. Like this is their Balatro example. So I could like propose a hand. All of this stuff is really easy to replicate because this is for a plugin. Very cool stuff. Very nice. How are you doing? Happy Friday. Gotta head out. All right, Commander. Doing okay, Sapphire? One day at a time. That's all you can do. And if one day at a time seems too daunting, just take it 10 seconds at a time. Hey, Magoo, thanks for the hydrate. Cheers. LSG, that or sword and enchanted sword are two different weapon types. Yeah, I don't know. A spell sword could a spell blade maybe equips a spell sword. I don't know. No, I don't know. Well, I have to decide how I care about that. I might do a suit requirement because I kind of like that because it forces you to decide whether you want equipment for one of your 4 heroes. And if I give you the traditional like 3 options every time you get to select cards or card packs or whatever, then you have to like purposely choose which of the 4 heroes you want your card for, and you'd only be offered 3 of them anyway. So it's like, I think it could be good constraint to have the card suit, aka whether if it's like a sword for a knight, then only the knight can use that sword. I think that's okay. I think it's okay. Tara, do you mean we as in you in the chat, or is there a dev team? I am a solo dev. But yes, I use the royal we a lot. Thanks for noticing that. All right, so how big can a character sheet be? I would like it to be maybe no more than 160 pixels. Because this is what, 128? So if I moved it over another 32, that gives us 160. And yeah, at that point we are up against the battle map. We're actually over and onto the battle map, I think, at that point. Is that how far out we were going to shove this? No, so that was only going to be out 144. Well, then it should be that. That should be the size. Or we should make that 160 or whatever. I think I avoided that because I want to leave room for surrounding, for like if there's a wall here. Or I guess it's that the 144 goes pretty close up to this. And I want to leave a little bit of a margin. It looks like I have an 8 pixel margin between the edge of the battle space and the start of one of these tabs. I can go a little farther though, but I don't have a lot more room here. So we could go down to 120 here probably. -8. That's a little close. That's cutting it a little close. So I think we'll keep this. Maybe we start out. Maybe we just start out seeing if we can fit. Because yeah, if it's 160, it's going to extend over into the battle space, which I guess is okay. It's another 16 pixels. Do an arrow here. Or something. We'll see. Let's see. Maybe we see if we can fit it in 144. The character have like 2 suits to create some overlap? I don't know. I don't think so. I haven't decided. Maybe. But characters wouldn't have more suits. Maybe equipment. I haven't decided. We have to try it out. We have to game it out. Hey, Vitamort. Spell sword. Very funny, Nix. Yeah, I use Streamer Talk. I use the Royal We so that I can distribute blame a little more effectively. I'm gonna, is there a little example? I'm gonna swap this out with something that actually shows me the edge, the actual edge of the play space. Just for a moment so I can plan around it a little better. I would like to see, why can't I draw now? Oh, because that's not how that works. See that. Well, I actually think I have another one that I could use. This one, does this go all the way up to the edge? It's off by 1 pixel. Let's just go with a solid color, just to not hurt my eyes. Okay, so this is the battle space. This is how much space the battle space takes. And so if we look at this, at the moment we're doing good in terms of we are leaving a little bit of breathing room. Because there will be sprites here. If there's a sprite outside of this space, it's a border sprite, like it's like walls or something. Like in case this is a dungeon, just to give you that kind of suffocating feeling. And that's okay if this sticks out over that. What I want to avoid is a tangent more than anything else with these. So I think, unfortunately, if we go out much further, if we go out to 16, that's exactly what we do, is we create a tangent. But maybe that's okay. Maybe it's okay. It wouldn't actually look like a tangent because almost nothing goes out to this. So maybe 1, and I actually kind of like how that sticks out their character sheet thing all the way out to here, or their little icon goes all the way out past this line. So maybe when you hover, so normally it would be like this, and we'll bring the roster thing down so that it makes a little more sense. This is how I'm thinking about setting up the player roster. There aren't going to be this many, but just ignore that. Ignore that part. Ignore the sheer number of these tabs. You'll have 4 party members. So maybe normally it's like this. When you hover over, it sticks out by 8. And then when you select, it sticks out by 16. And then unfurls the character sheet. Oh, so maybe this does need to go all the way back down here, because what you probably want to still be able to see. Nah, we can hide the other tabs or something. We can figure out what to do with that. We have a little more room, so we could, if you just look at how, well, no, we don't. We don't have a little more room, because look at how close we are to the deck draw thing. But yeah, I think I'm okay with this actually. Put this back as my pretty little grass sprites. Yeah, I'm okay with this. We use we because sometimes we forget we are singular. We are all one universe. We are all part of the one, the great conjunction. You use we because it makes you feel less alone when you're talking to yourself. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I insist on playing music while we do this. There's nothing more unnerving to me than to just be sitting in an empty room just loudly talking to myself. But okay, so I need to remake these to be 160p wide, which is great. And that'll be the baseline. That'll be the basis for the character sheet. And in fact, the character sheet can be whatever maximum size we establish here. Boy, maybe we start with like 160 by 160, but no, I actually want it to be longer than it is wide for aesthetic reasons. So first thing, let's fix these little tabs. I should call these tabs. Something like that. 160 by 192 is maybe nice. Did it extend it itself? Oh, that was so nice. So nice of it. Just copy the pixels over. Very nice, very nice. Full box. Ooh, UI. Yeah, I'm mocking up the UI space for our little card game. I want to see how much room I have. We were originally futzing around with panel containers and stuff to try to figure out the card art and everything. And then someone was like, couldn't you just hand draw this stuff? And I'm like, I probably could actually. And so now we have all this very crisp card art. And we have a basic style that we can use for... These are all the little character roster tabs we're sorting out. How are you doing, Full Box? I heard you were adding enemies to your game today. Hope they were nice. That's better, you think? Nice, yeah. Yeah, I think the Godot panel container is great for resizable windows, especially at high res, where like you don't know ahead of time how big the window needs to be. But if we're doing pixel art and we know exactly the size of the viewport, yeah, just like draw it by hand, right? Why not? You added 2 new enemies today. 2 ways of getting attacked and needing to dodge that's taking shape. That's awesome. That's awesome. I need to start getting some streamer bot shout outs so I can like link your game and stuff. Everyone go check out Scope Creep on Steam. Go wishlist it now. For all you game devs, aspirational game devs that want to conquer Scope Creep someday, this is probably the closest you're gonna get. This is certainly the closest I'm ever gonna get. Okay, I like this. So we can start, and I think this is actually the perfect size for the character sheet. 160 by 192, just so it's a little taller than it is wide. LSG, panel containers saved your ass when you went from 16 by 9 to 4.3 uncrypted. Basically didn't have to redo anything. I keep calling it cryptid. I know it's crypt ID. If it was cryptid, that would be a lowercase d. No, that's a good point. And that's a case of resizing based on stuff like that. We'll have to decide whether we want to support other aspect ratios. I think if we do, we'll have some pretty simple stuff to fix that. I'm especially concerned about the 16 by 10 aspect ratio of the Steam Deck. I would like to be able to extend the UI at least to make use of that full space, even if we don't change the battle map. I would like to like just leave a little more room. So I have a Steam Deck. We'll try that out. We'll burn that bridge when we get to it. All those burning bridges that have fallen after me. Don't make me sing. How about your 32 by 9 ratio? Good luck. Good luck. I think I would support 16 by 9, 16 by 10, and maybe 4 by 3. I don't even know if I would support 4 by 3. I might just support 16 by 9 and 16 by 10. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how easy we have. That's exciting, Full Box. Very exciting. Sapphire, Occam's razor, the simplest solution is usually the best. It very often is. Sometimes the simplest solution is the most work, though. Toolbox, you don't even support 16 by 10. You just have the black bar on the side. Yeah, I don't know. I think the way I'm doing the UI here, if I do that, I need to at least like swap the sprite so that we actually draw the edges of these areas. I think I'd do at least that so that like the UI gets updated to look a little nicer for the additional negative space instead of just like terminating abruptly. But whatever. That's even more work than just straight up supporting the aspect ratio, so. All right, so it looks like I have room for 7 characters here. But that's probably not what I'm gonna do. I'll probably have the character sheet here and then room for whatever the next character is up here. And so their tab is minimized. And so then the whatever tab you've maximized, there will be one character tab above it that's like minimized. And then so if you want to switch out from this, you can just click that and it will minimize whatever character sheet you had open. We'll probably do it so if you click like basically anywhere in the UI, it minimizes the tab you have open. But this is I think pretty close to what I want. It's pretty close. I think we're looking okay. So let's put this here then. And let's make a character tab. Maybe in the whatever, who cares? What I want to do is move this over. Minus, what did I say, 16? For when it's just kind of chilling. Yeah, what drives me insane, I know I've complained about this before, but one thing that drives me insane about roguelike deck builders is usually how crazy their UI is and how small all the little icons and elements are. Almost everyone is guilty of doing this, from Slay the Spire to like whatever. They're almost all guilty of doing that, of having like the interface just be crazy. Slay the Spire. Give me something high res. Give me something really high res. There we go. Like, it's so hard to read the little status effects. There's a whole video about this. I forgot who did the video. I think it's the Zachtronics guy or something, or Zach something. They did like a GDC video about the 3 reads and how like the most important stuff on the Slay the Spire screen is actually the stuff that's in the 3rd read, which is like the hardest read. But I mean, Slay the Spire is like the hugest roguelike deck builder on the planet. So clearly it's not an impediment to like success, but I feel like it is a bit of an impediment to small form factors like the Steam Deck. So I would like to try to address that personally a little bit. Just as long as the game is in the middle of the screen for the rest of the ratios and not overflowing. Yeah, the battle map will always be in the center of the screen regardless of the ratio, and then it's just a question of arranging the UI around it. I think, therefore, I dev. You could never get into Monster Train because the game felt so cluttered. Yeah, Monster Train's an interesting example of that as well. Arneo, one day after the sea has swallowed all land and the stars have sunk beyond the horizon, you will learn about handling different aspect ratios. Yeah, sometime around the heat death of the universe. All right, let's make a new sprite that's 160 by 192. We'll save it preemptively as roster. I could call it a character sheet, like a care of a roster card. I'll do that for now until I change my mind. And then so what we're going to start with... Start with the border. Start with the base of the card. I know I called it border here, but whatever. We'll use the gray one. Not the gray one. We'll use the poor one. So it's poor, you know, poor, common, magic, rare, epic, legendary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to try to insert the number 6 all throughout this project. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have some satanic panic fun with that. So what I want to do is I actually want to... what I should do, if I'm being really honest, is I should set up a 9-box like format so I can just do this every time and not... So I can just easily do these, but whatevs. This probably makes it pretty easy to do this. We effectively like already have a 9-box set up. And this is how we're getting away with not having a lot of information on the cards, is because everyone is going to be associated with this character sheet. So we actually don't need a lot of information on the card itself, because it's really about the interactions with the character sheets. Because an item is useless by itself. Only difference is I have level written on the card. I might also write XP. I'm not convinced yet. I'm not convinced whether that's the correct move or not. What I do need to do... So the way I've lined these up here is different than the way I've lined them up on the card. They're a little more condensed on the card. And I think it's to help me with like... I think it's to help me like this gauntlet. That's the wrong font size. It's to help me with really long ones like this. Like I literally don't think I can move this over anymore because of this. Because of gauntlets, we are at the margins, and that's okay. That's okay. This we give a little more breathing room, and that's also okay. And then we'll probably use this dimension for here. Icon. Put that there. That'll be the character sprite. What we probably want to do is we probably want to fill this in so that I can actually look at what it looks like. Next. Very ambitious to think y'all will live into the heat death of the universe. What do you mean? What do you mean? Spoolbox, you've been doing that with 5 and scope creep. You're using 5 everywhere for patterns and shapes and upgrades and all. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, we're trying to put the number of the beast like everywhere in this game. Like I can already see an achievement for having 5 or for having 3 level 6 characters in your party alive simultaneously. The number of the beast. Beelzebub. Asmodeus. 5 was for the pentagram. Nice, nice. And 10 levels because 2 times 5. And then crank it up to 11 for the final fight. Ooh, we're turning it up to 11. Turning it up to 11. Very good. Very Spinal Tap. We love Spinal Tap. Quiet day today. I hope everyone's out. I hope everyone's out in the nice weather. Well, I don't know if the weather's nice for you, but I hope everyone's enjoying this impending start to summer here in the northern hemisphere. Weather's pretty fantastic out here. I did these last night when I probably should have been sleeping. I'm very pleased with this. The fact that it's all within the character, the hero palette makes me very pleased. Couple issues though, like the green is a little low contrast, so is the brown, but I like it. I'm gonna make it. I think it's good enough because it means there's always some overlap with like the hero or item or whatever, but not like a ton. It's very nice. Very pleased. You know what we could do is we could blow this up to be the big version of the portrait of the character. Would that be cool? To do this version of it in the corner, because it's an extension of this one. I could see the argument for not doing it, because when we've got it like this, then at least the text will stay stable. If we just expand it and now it's like this, let's say Warlock level 1. So now it's like this part is at least stable, which I think I prefer. So that's probably what we're going to do. Puts the name pretty close to the center. Not exactly at the center, but we could do this differently too. We could actually move this around so that it's like like this. And then the Warlock is definitively centered. It means updating the text a lot. Or actually just using a control node to do it. I might like this better. And that's what we would do here then. Not sure yet. Yeah, I like the idea of centering the character's name though. Maybe that's okay. The only thing is it gets a little crowded. But we can just shift everything over. So like this would get shifted over. This would get proportionally shifted over as we like cut this part of this off. And then hopefully Warlock can stay relatively centered, or whatever the character's name is can stay relatively centered. We'll have to play with that. And then so you tap it and it expands out to this size. And now this is where we put everything. This is where we put like all our equipment and stuff. And I should really not do this with a Warlock. Because the Warlock is not a starting character. It's just the longest single line name, I hope. I think that's right. I think I checked this earlier. Yeah, it's longer than Paladin. It's slightly longer than Artificer, the way the font renders it. The really long ones are all two name ones, so it's fine. You don't worry about that. Arneo, today was your first beach day? Hell yeah. People were parasailing like 100 meters from where you were swimming. That's cool. It's cool to see. So yeah, character sheet. We're designing the character sheet. First day, nice day in 2 weeks. Yeah, nice. You're looking forward to doing yard work tomorrow? Oof. I don't like yard work, but that's just because that's like allergy central for me. Let's see how many pop culture stuff you add. Yeah, it's hard to avoid for me. I feel like it's hard to avoid. It's hard to communicate in a way that people understand, but I guess it's one of those if you know kind of things. All right, so we need a bunch of stuff here. So this character sheet needs to hold anything important about this character. This is like how you select abilities. This is how you like replace equipment. What I'm tempted to do is I'm tempted to take the armor stuff. So items, armor sprites. Well, let's open the accessories and the armor, because there's some of this stuff is on accessories, like shields and jewelry. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to do like a layout. So yeah, let's not do... I stopped talking mid-sentence. I don't remember what I said we weren't going to do, but we're not going to do it. That's for dang sure. So, hey, we're not going to do this warlock firstly. We're going to do a character that we actually intend on making, which is a knight. What if I want to look at, see how level 1 knight looks. Holy input lag, Batman. Alright. Where's the center of this? Somewhere around here. So I want up to 80. That's 80. Is this the halfway point? That's 18. That's 19. Yeah, that's effectively the halfway point. It's as close to the halfway point as we're going to get. I'll tell you that. Yeah, I think I like this. I think this is okay. Doing it like this. Too low. I think that's good balance. And then what we'll do is here, we're gonna do, we make a layer called fill, and it's where we're gonna put stuff that we normally wouldn't include here, but I'm gonna put it here for as an example, including this guy. So we want to see this. So it'll be our night sheet. I could also see a layout that's more like this. It's more stable. Like this. I don't like that as much though. I like this. I like this. We're going to do this. And then what we'll do is we'll collapse that down here. So this would actually, yeah, I already did it. This would be like this when it's at its largest. And then as it collapses, we just keep trying to recenter everything. All right, we're heading into ads. Hold on to your ads. Hey, Rhiannon. Full box, don't do it. Oh, no. I've already lost the context over what I'm not going to do. But I'm gonna do it anyway. No, I know. That was the thing. I was like, I'm not going to do it. And then I forgot what it was. I think I'm going to use... So we have so many versions of these items. I think I'm going to use the black version of the items to represent the slot, you know? Like this is a slot that could hold one of these sorts of deals. I think that's reasonable. The color of the icons is not going to represent rarity. That's what the card backs are for. The color of the actual item is going to represent like resistances, which has the potential to be occasionally confusing, but I think we'll manage. I think we will manage on that one. So we are going to need... So a knight could have a helmet, something on their back, something on their chest, something on their neck. They could be wearing... Oh, are there no trousers in this? It doesn't look like it. They got gloves or gauntlets. I already mentioned the hat. So some items are going to block out multiple slots. So like this prevents you from wearing like this maybe. Well, I actually don't know if a cape like would prevent you from wearing a cowl. Maybe that doesn't make sense. I would like to not do that because that would be confusing. So what makes sense for a knight? For a knight, we would have probably just a simple helmet thing. So what we'll do is we'll take our icon. Well, what we need to do is we need to take our icon. Oh yeah, that already just works. So we could have something here. So we'll have to see how this is going to get positioned out. So I think this would be like helmet. Then one of these could be like jewelry, like a necklace slot, and the other could be like a cape slot. But I could also move those down. So we could do like this. Oh, it's a disaster. And then what we're going to need to do, I'll probably have a little text maybe for these. I don't know. Probably tooltip is probably what we'll do. And so this will be what lets you deploy things, but it's also going to be how you activate abilities. So so characters are going to need spell slots down here or like class features or something that they can use. So we need to make sure we have enough space, but I like this idea. I like this approach. We can have chest. Well, that doesn't go there. What we're going to do, we said we were going to do like, do we want to do this or this? I should look at how other games do this. RPG, equipment, character sheet. Where's a good game that does this? Like maybe Diablo? see if we can get some high-res images of this. I really like the ones where it actually shows it overlaid, like in the correct order. I kind of like that style a lot. Like, I had one and then it went away because it wasn't high-res enough, but I'm just going to open it here. Man, is there a higher-res version of this? I would love that. We're trying, chat. Doesn't look like it. This is what I like. Edit the image, damn it. I like this a lot. This is the kind of thing I want to like position it intuitively. Excuse me. Got a bit of allergies. Old school RuneScape? Okay, yeah. I'm like, I know there have been these, and I played old school RuneScape back before it was old school. I'm gonna see some pictures of this. Yeah. Yes. Exactly like this. Let me see if I can get a good resolution. Please give me one that's a decent resolution. So I see some of these that are like more maximalist, and I see ones that are like more minimalist. So like, here's like a more minimalist one from old school RuneScape. This is nice. Here's like maybe a more maximalist one where you have like multiple potion slots and stuff. And I kind of like that because it's like, if you can carry 2 potions, then yeah, you would have 2 potion slots. And like, we actually do need to have equipment on here. And spells and everything. Like, it all needs to be on here. If it gets to be too crazy, we could add tabs to the sheet. But I'm very much a like, I love games where everything that you need to know is on one screen. I do not like to hide stuff behind like multiple menu layers if I can avoid it. So we have room for up to 5 of these per row if we don't mess around with the positioning. Like if we maintain the positioning, we have room for a lot. Wait, that's 5. We have 5 by 5, so we have room for 25 slots on a character sheet. I'm not saying we use them all. I would actually like to shape them differently for different classes. What did I do to change this file? There we go. So like we have the helmet, we have the chest. What we don't have are any kind of pants. Fascinating that nobody wears pants in this universe. I like that we have a shirt. We could add a shirt slot, but I think that's for people who don't wear armor. I don't know. Or maybe for people who can't wear armor. Oh yeah, there's something else I need to do. Someone well, I can remember. I want to swap. So all the characters, the human characters, face from left to right. I want all the monsters to face from right to left. Or all the non-player characters to face from right to left. Or left to right, whatever. The opposite of this. You know what I mean. So that you're in opposition with them. Although maybe I only do that with hostile characters. No, because then if you're talking to someone, you're like... I don't know. We'll see. We'll see about that. I guess I could have that be flexible, but I like it to be consistent. Too short for pants. I know, 16 pixels is not room for a lot of pants. Thanks, Sapphire. Have a good weekend. In case you hear this, no stream Saturday. I'm moving Saturday's stream to Sunday. Hopefully you heard that. I will mention it in the Discord, probably tomorrow. Just for this weekend, I'm moving the Saturday stream to Sunday. What sounds more interesting to do on stream? Adding controller support to your game or staging a bunch of Blender scenes? That's tough. Neither of those sound particularly thrilling. I'm just kidding. What I mean is that neither of those terribly stand out to me. Should I have this be like... Oops. Should I do stuff like this sometimes? No, I think that looks bad. Oh, well, maybe it doesn't look bad. I could also do things like this. I kind of like that, actually. It takes some of our slots that we might otherwise want to use, but I think that looks a lot nicer. Something like this, and then what I would do is I would have like this. Actually, I think I would want that over others. So there's a necklace slot, and we can have like a cape slot or something. It's a little dark, this one, but it's okay. Do you wield a shield? I guess you could. You want a ring slot? So there's rings. There's rings and gloves. So that could be 2 more here. So we could... have 2 more here. We could say... gloves. Ring. Oh, wrong layer. Come on, Dave. Get it together. That's your conundrum. Trying to avoid working on something else on stream, but you mostly have just have writing and boring work to do, so you may start a low stakes, fun learning game to do on stream. Something with a lot of crunchy systems. I would be concerned about doing that, but that's as someone who just like committed to not doing any more game jams this year and is trying to like not split my focus. It depends on how aggressively, but you know, you got to get in. We're both aiming for February Next Fest. Admittedly, your game is playable and mine is not. I don't like this cape example as much for some reason. I think it's the color. It uses a different gray tone here than these do. These use this blue, black thing. Oh, it just doesn't have any. I can deal with that. I can switch to using this. Oh, this one doesn't either. Maybe it's okay. I can always change it if I feel like it. If I don't like it. Also. All right. So one more of these for boots. Oop. Got to get our boots on here. Boots with the fur. Okay, so here's like your armor. We could offset this too if it makes sense. How'd this get over here? Whoa. What layer are you on, buddy? Okay. Okay. So now we have other equipment. Like primary and secondary weapon. If we need text associated with these, what we're going to do is we're just going to have tooltips. So we'll probably have yet another UI thing that we make that's like a tooltip, and maybe that's a little more flexible. We'll have to see. We'll have to see about that. To explain things that are a little more involved, like how a spell works or something. I want to leave some room for class features, so like we look at some spell icons, maybe. Not units. Spell sprite atlas. Wrong layer Dave has never left. What I need to do, and I might have to make one of these, which is just have an icon that fits as like a spell goes here. None of these look great for that. But I guess I don't need any spell. It could be like... Yeah, we'll have to see. I don't know if the knight's going to be a spellcaster, but I would like them to have a class ability or something, but maybe that can be hard-coded. I haven't decided whether that should be a card that you have to... I think it should, honestly, probably. Like a class ability be a card that you have to get. But, I might have to make some of those. There are the collectible sprites. Yeah, so we have a potion one. I definitely want one for potions. Like, everyone should be able to carry a potion, and then maybe, like, the alchemist can carry, like, way more potions than anyone else or something like that. Oh, we do need to leave some room in the UI for money. Important to remember. Important for me to remember. I kind of want to make these, and I kind of want to make a version of these that has like numbers. So instead of having this be the icon, this is literally a 0, and then I swap it to a number. That could be crazy in terms of the amount of space I have in the interface for that, but we'll have to figure that out. There is some space, I think, in the bottom left or the bottom right. I don't know. The alchemist should be able to make potions. Nah. I don't think we're gonna add a crafting system to the game. Yeah, maybe there are class features or spells that people can learn. I don't know. They probably should be cards still. They should probably be cards. I've been thinking about it, and I think they should probably still be cards. I love this little hat icon. I don't know who is going to have this. Probably the bard, I guess. Buy potions for cheaper? Maybe. I'm still not sure if those item cards are gonna like be one-offs, like you deploy them and then it goes like back into your deck. Or if it's like there's a cooldown. Maybe that's what the alchemist could do, is maybe the alchemist, when they use a potion, they don't have to like discard it or something. I don't know. Something. We could think of something. I commit to nothing. But we'll think of something. Okay, so we definitely need a shield. Probably use this one. Trying to use like the least crazy one of these. And then so where do we put this? I like that this is kind of this little, I like this kind of little armor thing we've got going here. I think I kind of want like maybe 2 here. Or maybe main hand, off hand. Put main hand, off hand either here or here. We have a lot of empty space that we could use. And then we could have a corner for spells. And a corner for like items or something. We'll have to see. Why is this brighter than everything around it? Alright, what do I like better? Do I like this better? It's kind of close. You know what? Maybe these cards are too big. It looks like we could maybe make these cards smaller after all. I feel like we have more space than we need, but I like having the space because we might decide to start using it. I don't think I like the idea of having an item on each side here, but maybe we put your deployables around the side or something. I kind of want the one like your combat items to kind of be in their own spot. Oh, we could do like this. Main and then offhand. Do like that. Kind of like that. I could see the argument for putting the boots lower and put the stuff that you can hold higher. But I also like the idea of keeping the armor in its own area. In which point, what I probably want to do is put something behind it that says like, put like a frame around it so you know this is armor. I might break up the card a little bit in a way that's nice. Let's mess with that. Let's try that. Portrait. Base. This is part of the base, I guess. Let's say this is the border. And then what we need to do is we need to that. Well, hold on. I didn't want to do that. I do this. Ooh, why is this not totally aligned? I think I want to move these further out. So like this has 2 more pixels I could go. So I want to go 1, 2. There we go. I like that better. A little roomier. So there, on this side, I have 4 pixels. If I do that here, also get rid of that. But add this, maybe. Ooh. Do that. What? What is... Oh, I see. That. And then all we do is we connect them up. I like this. I like this. I think breaking up the card is a good idea. Open question whether I like label these sections or if they're like fairly self-evident. I like that. That's nice. And then I think some characters would have 3 items here. So I think instead of 2, like an archer would have 3. Because an archer has... Well, maybe not. Maybe everyone has 2. Maybe everyone has main hand, offhand. Maybe that's your weapon setup. And I could actually see the argument for putting the weapons above the armor. But I think I want the active stuff around here. But I like this. But yeah, maybe this goes towards the... I don't know. Visually, I like this. Like this. We'll have to make sure we have room for... No, we will. Never mind. We're good. We're all good. Hey, Rob. You like that you're consistent with the game's progress? Oh, thank you. We're trying. We're trying to be really aggressive. It does mean I'm working like 12 to 15 hours a day, but what else am I going to do? How are you doing? How are you doing with your stuff? Happy Friday. Arneo, you're repeating yourself here. You think different sized slots for different sized weapons for different classes? That kind of violates the one of the core rules of like a roguelike like this, which is everything is 1 tile size. Hey, Ezra, nice. Thanks. You're ideating on deck builder-ish right now while finishing up? Oh, hell yeah. So I'm working on a new deck builder. I'm working on a... I got bullied into pausing my dream projects and try to come up with an idea that has appeal that I can make in like 6 months. And that's what we're doing. We're making a roguelike deck builder where you draft an RPG party called Party Wipe. Yeah, so we're pushing. We're pushing really hard. I've made a bunch of public commitments, like demo out by the end of the year, enter it into February Next Fest. Just get something up, get something out. Start racking up failures, you know? I mean releases. But yeah, I'd be down to converse about deck builder stuff. I'm thinking about it a lot. 2 nerdy nerds raiding over here with the nerd core. How's it going? How was the stream? This weekend, we are going to be rebranding all of the stream sounds to be more Dungeon and Dragons-y. I can't wait to swap a bunch of them out because, yeah, the Star Trek stuff is a little dissonant. How's it going? Hey, Distron, how's it going? Welcome in. Hi, nerds. I'd say how was the stream, but I was in there for a while. It seemed like it was good, but please confirm. Happy Friday. Why do Feb Next Fest when you can do October Next Fest? Look, Foolbox. You're like, Foolbox is just happy to be over here just pouring kerosene on a fire that's like already like clearly out of control. And he's like, I think it needs a little more juice. Moderate to good progress. I'll take it. I'll take any progress. Hope all is good. It's good. It's good. We're mocking up our UI for our card stuff so we can start getting that gameplay prototype that you've ordered, that you've demanded. And we're making good progress. We're working on our little character sheets, which are going to be these little extendable things where you can add equipment to your little characters, your equipment or your cards. So we're making a roguelike deck builder, Raiders, where you draft an RPG party. So for us, the cards are like the nouns, and then the verbs are going to play out on a little battle map. On a little battle map with little pixel art duders. Little roguelike, classic roguelike 16 pixel sprite stuff that we didn't have to make, thankfully. We also got a really slick card game plugin that I'm learning how it works. They have a demo Balatro implementation that you can just like... Is there actually a good play here? I don't think so. I can submit a pair. One pair. So it has all of these juicy card interactions. And all of this is set up in the plugin, so it's like pretty easy to recreate. I'm just learning how it works. And so yeah, we're mocking up our map, our battle map. We're gonna put these rosters on the side, so we're seeing how that all works. It's gonna be a pretty minimal. Here's like our little knight card. We have these little cute cards that really don't tell you very much, except about what the suit is, what the unit or item or spell or whatever is, and then what its level is, which we're also using a color system for. So levels 1 through 6, aka like trash through gold. And the way we're going to get away with having only a little info in the card is A, tooltips, and B, having these extendable. So you'll have your roster here, and you can hover over and click on the roster, and that will expand out for that unit a character sheet. And now you can play cards onto the characters and stuff. You miss when card games had maps? Yeah, don't hold your breath. We're going to be so quick. You've done a lot now. You feel like working on juice first, mechanics later. Yeah, I do that a little bit too much too. But I feel justified in this because this is telling me how much space I have, like what my affordances are for the UI thing, and that informs how much information I try to communicate, where I communicate it, how much I need to do, and then we'll have this. Next, we'll work up our little, you can see the blades of grass that represent our little battle map area. And we're going to do a quick UI prototype, set the cards up for that, set up a little, a simple 10 by 6 playable little battle map area, work that up, try to get this gameplay stuff prototyped out as soon as possible. We have in-person playtesting event in 10 weeks, like exactly 10 weeks. So got some deadlines. This is a great segue. I know I was there for some of the Slay the Spire and Darkest Dungeon. I think I'm the one that brought up Darkest Dungeon. I am playing that again, just for the vibes. You don't think you've seen a card game with a map since the 90s? Yeah. Aesthetically, I'm going very much for a He Is Coming kind of look. And they have this map, but this isn't a card game. This is like an auto battler, right? Still really great. I'm gonna work on improving my stuff to be better like this. I feel okay doing it because mechanically our games are very different, but they have a map. I don't think I'm gonna do this. I don't think I'm gonna do a big open world map. I think I'm gonna need to do some kind of node-based thing. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm virtually certain I'm gonna do some kind of node-based thing rather than an open map. Because yeah, I don't think I could do that. I think that would be a lot. I just downloaded this. This is half off. Try this. That's a video game too. Do you mean like a physical card game with a map? Crazy. Looking nice. Great progress already. I appreciate that. This is our first week. This is the end of our first week. So this is episode 5. I do 5 episodes a week. We're a little off kilter because we started on a Friday or something. Or Saturday. We started on a Saturday. And so yeah, I think this is good progress for the first week. But we're still working on it. What I'm setting up right now is the character sheet here. You don't like how it spells level 1 on the card? It's kind of ugly and makes it look cluttered like a phone UI. What do you not like about it? You just don't like the font? You would just rather not have this? So the reason I have the level is an accessibility thing, because I do communicate what level it is by the card color. So like for all of our cards, we have level and rarity are equivalent in this game. And so we have like level 1, aka like poor. We have common level 2, magic level 3, rare level 4, epic level 5, legendary level 6. But just for accessibility reasons, I feel like I need to put the level in text. And I think we found a good spot here on the actual little card. Like, I feel like the little level things on the side here are okay. A little hard to read, but you're really just looking for the number once you know what level means. But I'm open. I'm open to possibilities. I'm open to all feedback. I want any and all feedback. It feels so nice to just move cards around. I love this plugin. But yeah, I'm interested to hear more of your thoughts, Ezra, on deck builder stuff. I'll have to tune in soon. You're eagerly awaiting the prototype playtest? Yeah, I'm hoping to have a playtest out before that in-person event. I'd rather not embarrass myself. So maybe like 8 weeks. I think we're aiming to have some kind of basic prototype up in like 6 to 8 weeks. So yeah, we're doing it. We're cooking. You love deck builders in general, Distron? There were actual physical card collectible games. Hey, Ghost Monk, thank you for the follow. So there were actual physical card collectible games where some cards were used to build a map at the start of the game. That mechanic seemed to have gone out of favor before video game card games came into popularity. Interesting. Yeah, I would love your opinion on this stuff. Not this one. The card with the knight itself, the one with the icon. For the equipment one, that's fine. Also, you can use colors that are colorblind friendly. I cannot. I'm mostly doing that already, actually. That's totally accidental. I'm using... So the rarity colors here are exclusively colors that are already in the palette. And that's a constraint that I have adopted. Hey, Indie Gates, how's it going? But yeah, so you don't like the character sheet one? I mean, there's other ones I could do. I could put the level somewhere else. I kind of like it there as just providing something, but there's other things we could do. We could move it over here. You know, and move the... I kind of wanted the unit card name to be centered rather than to be like over here. Right? But I could do something. Yeah. I appreciate the feedback. I will take note of that. If I can find somewhere else to put this, I might. Okay, so we said this was going to be main hand and offhand. So for a knight will carry a shield. So that would be their offhand. And a main, we will use their spear, since that's the one that is included in the weapons sheet that I no longer have open for some reason. Good. Always checking the stats of your Steam page. You should stop it. Yeah, it's hard to do. It's hard to do. You like the style? Thank you. Yeah, I can't take credit for these sprites. The sprites were made by... I should know their name. Where is that information? Fartfish. Great. The sprites were made by Fartfish. It's part of a big roguelike pack called Pixelike 2. We're trying to be very aggressive with development of this game. We're trying to not be too precious. We're being very willing to use art assets and plugins and stuff, which is a kind of a change for me over what I normally have done historically, which has been very obsessive about. So should I do... Would spear be confusing? Would it be better to just do sword? Spear looks a little weird. I think I would rather do sword. But I don't know. We'll start with spear and I'll see how I like that. Yeah, that's okay. What if I did sword? Sword looks nice. I like that. All right, so we need some more icons for like maybe some class abilities or something. So how much more room do we have? So we have plenty of room down here. You know, plenty of room. These might be items or spells. We have room on the sides. We have lots of room. We have no shortage of room. It's just a question of what do we want and where do we want it. I would like to leave some room for like class abilities, maybe not quite this many. And I would like some room for items, for some items, but again, maybe not quite this many. So maybe we something like this at the most. At the most. This still feels like maybe too much. Maybe we have, what we have is one item thing here. Maybe one here. And then we scrap these. It's nice that we have options for ones that need the options, but I don't know if we should feel necessarily obliged to use them all. You think that game I showed before, was it he is coming, yeah. It's using a lot of assets from 2D asset packs. Yeah, I wasn't sure. It could totally have been all hand-drawn. especially all the bosses. I presume the bosses are all hand done, because there's like 40 bosses in this. But yeah, there's lots of items. It has a very cohesive art style. Very good. I think it's by the people that made Loop Hero, right? No. Why did I think that? I don't know why I thought that. It's published by Hooded Horse, though. So these people have some resources. I don't know why I thought that. He was meaning more the map. Very possible. The map assets do look a little different than like all the equipment. I do like it. Like what they're doing here. I forgot to give you think it's good use of assets? Yeah, I think that's important. Forgot to shout out the nerds. I always forget that. Because the color looks a little like Loop Hero. I don't know why. I think, honestly, I thought someone told me that it was from the Loop Hero developers. But who knows? I do want to play Loop Hero. I've played it before. I haven't beaten it, but I want to play it again because I saw... All I want to do is see someone play a card. Nope, apparently not. Is anyone actually going to do that here? All I want to do is see the player play something. But it was a really nice interaction from playing something. For playing a tile. It was like a really nice tile placement interaction. I really like Loop Hero. Who makes Loop Hero? 4 Quarters by and published by Devolver Digital. Okay, totally different studio. Yeah, I don't know where I got that from. I don't know where I got that from. Yeah, maybe room for 3 to 5 spells on the side here, or maybe room for some items. Oops. Depends on how many items we want you to be able to hold, you know. We could also do it. Do it like this. I'd like to group them a little. Do I want to add more portrait things? Like, do I want to add, like, some portrait stuff here? I don't think so. I don't know. I haven't been sold. I haven't been sold on any approach. Let's be simpler and let's say, like, how many things do we actually have left that we want to put on here? So I know we have a potion. I want you to be able to carry a potion at least. There's also like consumables. Search your game. I'll do it. I don't want to encourage, you know, your spam checking of your stats. So here's our food sprite. If I could figure out one of these. To make like the background. We also have meat, a little meat. Iconography. I think the only other food item we have is a slice of pie, which is pretty funny. I don't know if that reads very well, but that could be a funny one to do for the food. Whoop, wrong layer. We would just need to get it back into this. I don't know if that reads very well. Oh, also, here's the thing. So there's potions like this. There's also potions like this. Like, that I think are intended to be weapons. And I think I have to decide if I make that like a significant distinction or not. All right, this isn't going to be perfect. We're just trying something, seeing what looks all right here. All right, so here's kind of some stuff, right? So it's like, here's your armor, here's your weapons. And then we could do some spells. I'm kind of tempted to move this thing down. Like move this part down and then move like maybe this part up. Or maybe move this part up, the spell one. Also not sure whether I want additional outlines. Yeah, I don't want too many slots. Like, I don't want you to just be able to stack a bunch of food items or potions or whatever. This is this food art style where you become hungry after looking at it. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty tasty stuff. What are we doing on time? Oh, we're doing great. We're not even 2 hours into the stream. I'm reasonably happy with this so far. My only real question is, do I bring this over? No, I like having the gap. And then, yeah, I think maybe having 3 spell slots or something, or class abilities that you can unlock and apply to characters. I'd have to figure out how to communicate that clearly. You know what I probably do is we introduce another one of these border things, maybe. Maybe we do like this. Probably want to. Hey, thank you for the follow. I've never done this. Does this look okay, doing this sort of thing? Thank you. Thank you, Indie Gates. Appreciate you. That's not right. What is it supposed to look like? 2 and then 1, like that. There's a lot of space not really being used. We could probably improve. I should probably lay out types. I should probably move things around. But we're trying stuff out. It's all right. I don't know if I love this. I don't know if I love this, like... I don't know if I hate it, but I don't know if I love it either. Put the little bottle near the food, because they're another kind of item. Yeah, that's tempting. I want to leave some flexibility. For characters that have different requirements. Like, it's nice to leave some space on the side here in case of characters that have, like, more spells than 3 or something. But I could also just address that by, like... doing it all the way to the edge. Which I maybe should just do by default. I don't know. But yeah, what I could do, and I don't know if I love the idea, is I could move like... Hey, Jesus. Thank you for the follow. I could move these over to the right. Move the icons first. I really liked the prevalence of the offhand main hand thing. I know I could do something like this. Well, I might do this for the style. So I do need to communicate more information than just level here. I also need something like XP 1. I do need to tell you some more information about this character. And so actually that's probably what I need to do with the sides here. Probably what we need to do. Can this fit in one of these? No. We could do something like that. Like we need to tell the player some things about their character. And I think a new line is good because then that number can get big. It's uneven. How's it uneven? I could also slightly distinguish these areas a little even better than what I'm currently doing. Let me put the items correctly. Oh, that was hard. Why did I make this hard for myself? We're just gonna put these back. And go get these again. Oh, I made this difficult for myself. That's fine. I like putting the potion here and the food here, because food is defensive in nature, although not everyone has a shield. I think for the knight this makes sense. But having different layouts for different characters is maybe not good. Did I not save the grayscale pie? I probably should. Should. Give you the pie, don't save it. But yeah, we have pieces of information we need to communicate. We have, I threw away my little slip. Did I write them down? Base stats. Yeah, we have level, experience, health, move, attack, defense, magic, and resistance. Resistance is going to be hard to communicate. That might need to be like a tooltip. So might magic. Actually, you know what? We could probably have those have both magic and resistance as tooltips off of attack and defense, because that's what they mean. So maybe magic and magic attack. Go well, because a character would have an attack and a magic attack. Well, maybe they don't have an inherent magic attack, is maybe what I mean. Maybe they do, though, because of, like, wands. If I allow for wands. So, yeah, I don't know. Not quite sure. Not quite sure about how to handle the magic and resistance display. But we could start by starting. And just work out some of them. So I think if we can put 3 pieces of information here, I think that would be great. Also, we're heading into ads. Hold on. Hold on, everybody. I think we have room. We very much have room for 6 things here. Probably move them down a little. Like that. Something like this. That lines up really well, actually. I know they all say XP. Give me a second. Could use the electrical resistor symbol. Well, it's not so much having a symbol, it's that unlike attack, or maybe like attack, well, like for health is just one number. You have some amount of health. But for like resistance or magic damage, it's like you have resistance to all the different types of damage. So it needs to be like a chart. So maybe what we do need is a symbol of some kind. There are different types of resistance. Yes. So part of what makes sense for having like a deck of like equipment and stuff is that you were going to run into enemies that have different, you know, strengths and weaknesses. So like if you look at our weapon list, we're not going to use all of these, but you could easily imagine that like green is nature. This purple green is like poison. The orange is fire. Gold is light. You know, you could imagine these different things, like maybe blue is frost. I don't quite know what to do with this indigo. It might end up being a necromantic thing. If I feel like it's distinct enough. But whatever. We'll come up with some combination of things that make sense. The specifics don't matter at the moment. But it means that you would have resistance to whatever. Well, actually, you know what it means? It means that yeah, resistance and resistance at least would be a weird thing. But I think we can represent it. I just don't quite know how. Border. I'm gonna try some stuff with the border. Okay, so this one's a little... This doesn't have to be perfect. This is our first draft. was like, how did I do this? We'll finesse this later. I think something like this is okay. What we can do to make it cleaner is we could reverse this angle. So we could do it like this instead. Oh, that doesn't totally work. It would be more organic if we did something like this, maybe. I don't know if that's better or not, or worse. It looks kind of worse to me, but... problem might be here. I don't actually know what I like better there. Hey, Void Blit. Y'all are funny. Hey, Gabor, did you finish the card system already? We're working on our character sheet, which is where you list all of the equipment and the current stats of a character. Should this be a little different on the outside then? Is there something else I could do here? Do two. It's already what we do. I'm gonna export this and just see it on the field. I don't really care. So you'd expand one of these. We'll say roster tabs. Make a new texture rec just to see what this looks like. Call it. Happy Friday, by the way. Good more. Inigate, is it okay to share the project in the Discord? No, yeah, please go ahead. There's a showcase chat for just little shout outs, and there's also like a discussion thread you can make if that's what if you're trying to get feedback or whatever longer term. You saw that's why you thought you'd already finished the card system. We have the cards. We're trying to figure out how much space we have, you know, what our design affordances are. And so we've got our little cards that don't have a lot of information on them. They do have rarity now, which is nice. I knocked that up last night. And then so what you're going to have are these little roster tabs for the characters that you've deployed. And they kind of ape on the card design a little bit. And then the roster tab, you can expand out and see all the actual equipment and stats currently associated with your deployed hero. And that would be this. And so that's why we're working on this. I kind of like this. I think I'm okay with this. again, doesn't need to be perfect. Just needs to be good enough that I can move on. Good enough for now. The only real question is this cast a shadow? Kind of don't like that. But it might be more consistent if I do something. No, because I say these angles don't cast shadows, and I need to be consistent with that. Oop. All right, Godot, what do you want to yell at me about? Like what? What happened here? Okay. There we go. Oh, shared your page? Yeah. Can add little dragons or serpents around the borders like this. You like little serpents and dragons and demons and UI. If I could figure out a really small version, like, yeah, we definitely have room down here. Part of the thing, though, is I want to leave this flexible because, like, you know what? Actually, the level 1 version of this character might not actually have this many spell slots. Like, maybe this version only has 1, right? And then the next version can have 2. And then the next one can have 3. Or up to like 5 or something. Or maybe it's 0 and then it's up to 3 or something. Like there's going to be a range down here. And so we can have some flexibility. But yeah, it would be cool to add little things if possible. I think... So I think defense can be a number. And I think what defense will do is... Or attack... is if you hover over attack or defense, if you have magic damage or magic resistances, that can tell that. But also, your attack is tied to your item, so maybe you actually don't. But you also don't have a lot of ways to attack, so maybe... Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to... We'll try some stuff out, but clearly I have room for 6 things here, for 6 stats. The stats could probably be double digit. I don't think we're going to have any triple digit stats, but, you know, never say never. Just checking to make sure that this is okay. Yeah, I think we'd have... We plan for up to double digits. If we absolutely have to, there's room for triple digits. Stop pasting, Dave. God. Like, if I absolutely have to, we have room. We have room for up to triple digits. This is going to be a fairly quote-unquote low numbers kind of game, so I'm not super concerned about that. Like, there's only 6 levels to the characters. What if the higher the level is, the cooler the little demon things are on the card? Yeah, you are the scope demon, Voidblit. You like what you see? Okay, that's good. That's good. If you want to fight Scope, if you want to fight Scope Creep, go wishlist Full Box's game, Scope Creep. Gabor. Happy Friday. You have to work tomorrow. Oh, I'm sorry. I feel bad whenever I say that to someone who works on the weekends. Much of my life was spent having to listen to people tell me Happy Friday, and I'm like, I work all weekend. So I feel you. Gabor, the game development process is completely different. Usually write the code first with 0 plan. The approach seems better to make the art first, have a proper plan. Well, my approach is controversial. A lot of people would argue that you should just gray box and work out the mechanics and stuff. I have reasons why I'm not doing that. One is, some of them are that I'm developing in the public eye. Another is that we're basically making a UI game, a game that's at least 50% UI. So I need to know what my UI affordances are. Like, how much space do I have? How much information can I communicate? Am I maybe going slightly overboard? Maybe. I'd be willing to admit that. Do we have room for like a 3-letter text thing? Is my question. So we could have XP. It makes sense to put XP under level. We could put HP over here. You know what? You know what? This is not bad, because these stats on the side, these are the card's base stats. So I think if you have a special item or whatever, maybe it will affect these. Like, maybe special boots will increase your move by 1 or something. But I also kind of like the idea that you have to like tap the boots and then you get like something. Like maybe you can move twice or whatever. And that stuff like that, you can't just represent on here statically. So maybe it's fine to not do the magic and a resistance thing, because magic and resistance are equipment-driven things. They're not something you just inherently have. Whereas, like, you have inherent attack defense, because even if you have no equipment, you could still go up and punch somebody, or, you know, they could come up and punch you, and you need to have some way of resolving that. You add a HP or XP bar on top of the inventory or on bottom. That's true, because you need to know what your HP is out of something, maybe. Or maybe you don't need to know. You just need to know what the number is. I don't think you care as much what it's out of. Games with chonky UI are sexy, like Might and Magic RPG games. We aim to please. I'm kind of tempted to do a version of this that's more like this. Where it's like, does like this. I think that would be the most aesthetically pleasing. But I do like the idea of doing that based on the card, because, well, because this is going to be annoying and hard. I have to do the turn again. I have to do like one of these too. Oops. I have to put something here. Or, what do I mean? I'm not good at this. Yeah, I'd have to do something like this. And like, maybe that's better to do now. But I kind of like the idea of restricting this based on what level your card is. Like, you can get one more every time you level, so you can get more tactical flexibility or something. I guess in that way, you would actually start with none. You'd start without any of this stuff. You'd start just like... nothing down here. Maybe I could just gray these out. Would that work too? Just so I don't have to make like a million different border designs. Would it be possible to like take this color or something and like... not all of them, obviously, but like... is this the dark one? No, that's the light. So maybe it would be like this. And we do like this. Whoa. Oh, you know what would be funny? You know what would be funny to put here? If you like can't use the slot yet, instead of doing this, it'd be funnier if we did something like this. like you can't use it. But there's also the option of just restricting it. So like level 1 character doesn't have any of these, so we just remove it entirely. I mean, I'd probably update the colors to be like... Maybe what I would do is... like this. I don't know. I think that's a little confusing. I think it's cute, but I think it's confusing. I think what I should do is like this. Get rid of all this stuff. Get rid of these. So maybe a level 1 knight doesn't have any. That looks okay. There's space we're not using down here, but that's also okay. We could also just shrink the roster card in this case. Decide. We got a pie. It's right here. What stats do you want to display? HP, MP, XP, Strength, Dex, Int. Hey, Twister, how's it going? I think it's going to be... I guess I can do that now. I think it's going to be XP, HP, move. What did I wrote some of them down. Level, XP, HP, move. Attack, defend. I think I want actions as well. I think I want like actions, act. So you can see how many actions you have. So I think I'll do XP, HP, actions, move, attack, defense. I think I'll just do the... I don't think I'll do this. I don't think I'll do magic and resistance. Not on the base character, because that's like a very equipment specific thing. Oops, not where I wanted to be. Okay, what did I say? Health. Let's grab the right color first before we start messing around with this. HP. I'm also not sure about doing it like HP. We're doing like... I think XP and HP should maybe be capitalized. So like I should probably get rid of this and do XP. Because it's not a shortening of one word. It's like 2 words that have been shortened into one thing. Something like this. 7, 6. Something like that. And do HP. Put it on the other side. 9, 6. That. Doesn't really matter. It's okay though. Whatever. And then let's do the rest of these, I guess. Why not? So this one I kind of want to do move. See if move is too big. Nope, just barely. Just barely not. That's 6. Let's move this up a little. slightly more consistent. I lost my shadow here at one point. Add it back. How do you change all the colors at once? Paintbrush and then just remove continuous or contiguous. And then you can do that. You can control the layer. You can do layering and selecting to restrict it, but it doesn't require it to be contiguous anymore. Hey, Commander, welcome back. I think it's important to have fun little games in fun little things in games. It adds character. Modern games often try to take themselves so seriously compared to games from the 90s. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that. I like a good sense of humor. We're gonna definitely have lots of D&D jokes and old video game jokes and lots of silly stuff. Thank you for the hydrate. Let me get that before I forget. You know what I should do is I should have things down here, and I should draw a lock sprite. Do I have a lock sprite? Or I could use the closed chest, maybe. Because I actually don't like the way this looks without anything. I kind of want to do the border thing. I knew we were in the middle of doing something else. Let's finish that first. I have the attention span of like a potato sometimes. Yeah, no worries. I love Sprite. I hate having to go into like a quote-unquote real text editor. Or not text editor, picture word. I can't even say the word. I'm like, picture processor. Like, when are you from, Dave? Like, a word processor, but for pictures. So actions. How far is this? 6? Let's make it 4. And then is this 12 now? Yep, that's nice. 5. Everything's coming in 5 by 5. So we've got XP, HP, movement, actions. And then we'll have attack and defense. I like the unintended division we have here. That was very much not intended. But I like what we have here. We're on the left. We have like things. These are more active things. Like XP is something you're trying to gain. Movement is something you can use. Attack is something you can do. Oh, I guess action fits into that. Never mind. Changed my mind. I might do XP, move, action, HP, attack, defense. I think that's better. With literally no information. My instinct is that that is better. 5, 6, 12. It's more logical, you think? I'll take your word for it. I'm happy to take any feedback that completely agrees with my suppositions. Over by 1. Wait, that's 4, and then that's 5. Ooh, Penundy. I like that. Yeah, XP, move, actions, HP, attack, defense. Because these can all be changed in real time, which is neat. So we can watch how these change based on... Yeah, I like this division. I do like this division. I'm happy with this. Let's get defense in here. Last one, defense. I'm usually like, I don't see how this is going to come together. And then I start messing with it and I'm like, oh, it's coming together. Funny. Funny that. 4, 5. That's fine. That isn't half bad. So now what I think I want to do is do this border thing. Oops. Why doesn't this look right? It's better. It's nice. How does this work again? So this comes in here, so this stays up here, and then we go in 2, and then 1, and then 1, and then 2 again. There we go. Yeah, there's definitely room for fun little gilded, like, card edges and stuff, because maybe we'll have, like, rarer... Maybe we'll do foils or something, or we'll just introduce fun little details for the higher cards. I kind of like the idea. There's this little space here. It would be really cute to have little, like, 8-pixel, like, angel and demon or something. Or a demon and an angel or something. There's definitely room for cute, fun stuff here. But I really like this so far. This is why I think it's important to, like, figure out what your boundaries are. Like where's the space in which you're operating? Doesn't always provide you all the information you want or need, but I think it's a good exercise. Oops. This is nice. Yeah, I like this. I think this is pleasing. Relatively. Considering it uses the exact same turn for, like, every single thing. I think it's alright. I think we could have done worse. Screw it, you're just going to work on controller support on stream. That's okay. Here's why I think that's okay, LSG, because I think you'll be playing the game a lot while you're doing that, right? Because you'll be testing things, and that's always a good thing to show on screen. Show your game running. I try very hard to keep my games running while I'm working on them when I'm streaming them, because you don't know who's going to raid you. You don't know who's going to come in and ask for, like, a rundown. Yeah. I think it's super important to either keep a playable build up at all times while you're streaming, so that even if you can't show what you're currently working on, you can quickly, like, run the thing. Or whatever. Yeah. And it's also for a personal motivation standpoint. I feel like most people lose motivation and stop working on a project when it's, like, been unplayable for, like, weeks or months or whatever, or days even. Like, you start to lose momentum when a game can't game. I don't think you're in danger of that. It's just, that's just my two bits. Okay, so then what we're gonna do is we're gonna have these down here. We'll have 5 of them. These are like your spell slots or like class ability areas. And I think what they're going to do is I think these are going to be locked. And then they will become unlocked as you gain levels. So a level 1 knight has no class abilities, but a legendary knight has like 5 class abilities. I think that's neat. So what we need to do is we need to showcase that these are locked. So I need a sprite for that. The spiderweb was cute. Oh, what I need to do is I need to expand this sprite to include the gray. Why am I struggling? Why am I struggling to do this? Do it this way. Is this darker even? 333. No, that's the same. Okay. Yeah, that's the same. Oh, we need to rename this then. High Sprite Atlas. Clean that up later. Meat. Get your meat. I should probably do this one now while we're here. Because I think it'd be funny if different characters have different icons there in their character sheet. Like, I don't want them all to be the same. So it'd be really funny to me, like, if, for example, the druid was like a pescatarian, and so their food item is like a fish. Or maybe they'd be a vegetarian, so their food item is going to be like a turnip or something. I think it'd be very funny to do different ones of these, so I guess I should work on that. I'll do that later. That's just creating darker versions of these various things for the slot purposes. So what we do need, though... You wouldn't eat a brown strawberry? Oh, those are the rotten ones. I think those are the rotten ones. Why does this want to be changed? There we go. So, like, that's what I think. Like, they're so mushy and gross. Chocolate-covered strawberry sounds good. All right. We're coming up on time, but man, I'm really pleased with our progress today. This will look really good in the different colors, too. Like in the different card, because we were just doing level 1, but we've got all of them. It's gonna look good, and we just need to do 6 card levels for 4 characters to start. We'll start with these, with the bog standard 4. The usual suspects, as they call them. Whoop. So that's not too bad. And then we've got 11 unlockable characters. Maybe more if I can decide I want to let you play any more of the monsters. That's another thing I need to remember to do tonight, is swap the monster portrait directions so that they're the opposite of the player directions. So, like, you know. So that you know who is in opposition to you and who isn't, right? Right? Because then it's really easy to tell. And that helps too, because these are all, they're going to be enemy versions of all of these. So, like, you need the enemy version of the lich so you don't, like, mix up your two liches, right? Subtle. Subtle, but an important distinction. Especially if you have a small battle map where the player always deploys on the left facing right and the enemy always deploys on the right facing left, then, like, those little things add up to your situational understanding. You got, like, 30 viewers on Twitch, but on YouTube, it's only you. Yeah. YouTube is usually smaller. Sometimes I've had it's been up quite a few months before, but I've had streams where like there've been like almost 100 people watching on YouTube, and I don't know what causes that. It's like we're all at the mercy of the algorithm. But yeah, usually YouTube is a lot quieter for the live stream than Twitch is. We did get a raid today though, so that is inflating my popularity a little bit. Yeah, Void Blit, the little scope demon. When I add the little angel and the demon on the little sides of these cards or something, I'll be thinking of you. That'd be really cute to add a little something in the card art. All right. We gotta lock down these slots. That's what we're doing. We're showing people the lock before we give them the key. So where you have a level 1 character, you're like, oh, what are all these locked slots? This turned out really well. I'm just shocked. I was really concerned. I actually think everyone's cards the card formats are gonna look identical. And what'll change is I will use different icons. So like the rogue's not gonna have this like plate armor background or wizard or whatever. We'll like specialize the icons used for the situation. Just for some variety and stuff. But yeah, I really like this. I'm very pleased with this. But like you can imagine the Demon Knights to main hand and offhand, instead of showing a shield, it shows like 2 axes. Like an axe here and an axe here, and it's like you can dual wield. All right, let's do the thing that I said I was going to do like 16 years ago and go grab a lock. Something that's locked. I'm thinking a locked chest is what I'm thinking. Because, yeah, I do have to wrap it up soon here. Let's just finish this card. It's not in the items. Oh, I need to delete these. It's under the environment. And it'd be a chest sprite. Like this. Is this okay? I think this works. I might move it up to the center of the frame. Rather than have it be at the bottom. It doesn't really communicate lock to me. Let's see what else we got. I might just draw a lock. It's not that hard. My first instinct is not to draw a sprite, but I am ready to do so if necessary. I think there's a locked door or something, or a cage. That might look better. That doesn't really communicate anything either, but let's try it. Actually, that's kind of okay. The only problem is it would look like this. And actually, I'm okay with that. That actually, I think, is okay for now. And then we can always use the unlocked one when it's been unlocked. So you could do... Depending on whether you can just assign anything to this or these are specific things, we can do that. I think that's pretty clear, actually. Slap a tooltip on that bad boy. I think you can kind of figure out what's going on there. It already happens to be in the color scheme that we want, so we love to see that. Yeah, so you have a bunch of locked slots down here. Draw a lock. Yeah. I think this works. You think it works too? Cool. Border looks very quality. Nice. Thanks. Yeah, the border is one of the only things I've hand-drawn so far. I like it too. Let's export this. Let's take a look at it in Engine, and then I got to get out of here. I could have probably quick loaded it. Quick load. What did I call this? Oh, there it is. Character sheet. So this would pop out. So let's say the one above it is like another character in your party or whatever. So let's say you've selected and opened one. This at the top represents someone else in your party, and it's a UI way of you to just minimize this. So I'm going to leave that. Just because it's easier to do it this way. But yeah, it means this, you can fit one character sheet in the party roster space. You can have a thing for another character so that you can like whatever. Let's see that in the game. Hey, Commander Apollo with the Raid Master. Where can I raid, Master? Yeah. So like if you like select this card like Balatro style, maybe it shows your XP go up, and if your XP goes up enough, maybe it shows the level go up. I think this is looking okay. I'm gonna go put this in the discard here just so that it sits there, just for aesthetics. I don't think that's terrible. I think it's pretty readable. Even on the Steam, the OBS over here, I can pretty much read it. You can't recognize the icons, but that's fine. Not super pleased with the cape icon, if I'm being honest. But everything else I like. Looks awesome. Thank you, Commander. All right, I'm raiding out soon. So let me know. Let me know where we're going, Commander. We're with you, Commander. Commander? Shepherd? Shepherd. That's great. Thanks, LSG. Yeah, this is coming together. This is coming together. I'm really glad I spent like years learning how to draw pixel art before starting this. Sad that none of those games have happened, but you know, they're still there. They're still there. They're still waiting for me to continue to skill up. Ooh, there's a trapdoor. Maybe trapdoor is better. Trapdoor sprite. Is this better? I don't know if this would be better. We'll look at it real quick. Oh, that's the wrong layer. Okay. Copy. Wait, what the F? What's going on here? I didn't do this right. That's okay. That's on me. All right, quick question. A or B? Left or right? B? Okay, pretty strong with the locked gate. We like the locked gate a lot better. Right is your preference? All right. Forget it. Love it. Love to see it. Dealer's choice. You just had points. You were going to do a stream. You just got notified you have to do something with your family tonight. Well, let me refund you then. You can use your points later. I think Raid Master is going to get more expensive soon. Not going to take your points. We'll find someone to raid out. Some kind of lock, unlock. Yeah. For now, this is what we'll do. If I feel like drawing a lock and an unlock, I might do that soon. Because, yeah, it would be a lot more clear if I did a simple lock mechanism. And I feel like I can do an 8 or 9 sprite lock mechanism pretty easily. We'll just use this for now. But yeah, this is awesome. I didn't think we were gonna just do the whole character sheet in like one stream. But yeah, progress. Just keep moving. Keep moving. Dodge and weave. Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. Just keep moving. Actually, don't know who to raid. Adagon's doing some stuff. Big Boy's playing Minecraft. Is there anyone on the team streaming? Fyra is streaming, but we always raid Fyra. Captain Krabs is doing something. Adagon is streaming, making wiki for games. We might go to Adagon. Not sure. CryKit is streaming. I was in there earlier. I do like a good CryKit stream. Might be CryKit. Chaff Games? I've never heard of Chaff Games. Let me check them out. Stream them out. They have 1 viewer. Oh, that could be fun. Are they in Godot? They're in Godot. All right. They just started. Yeah, let's go there. Let's go there. Chaff Games. Thanks for the recommendation. Have a good one. All right. Take it easy, Gabor. Chaff Games. Let's go hang out. I got to finish up my work week here. Got to finish it up. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, appreciate you, Commander. Take it easy. Rex Shepherd. Yeah. We're say no stream tomorrow. No Saturday stream. We will have a lazy Sunday stream instead. I will probably mention it again on the Discord tomorrow. Thanks everyone so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. This has been Party Wipe, a roguelike deck builder where you draft an RPG party. See you all next time. Enjoy the raid. Ship them if you got them. Yeah. Bye.
Maximum warp.